Okay, picture this. It's Tuesday, the day that sits awkwardly between the start of the week and the midweek hump. I'm at work, daydreaming about the warm, gooey chocolate chip cookies I left cooling on the counter. The aroma still lingers in my mind, teasing my senses. Suddenly, reality bites. More like someone else bit into my reality. The nerve, the cookies, they were gone. Vanished, poof! Like they never existed, like a magician's disappearing act, only less sparkly and more tragic. No applause, just heartbreak. My stomach rumbled, not from hunger but from outrage. How could someone commit such a heinous act? This wasn't just a cookie crime. It was a culinary injustice, a violation of the highest order. These weren't just any cookies, they were my grandma's secret recipe, passed down through generations of Fey women. A legacy in every bite. Okay, maybe not generations, but definitely from my mum, who printed it out from a website. Still sacred. A recipe so cherished, it might as well be ancient lore. I launched a full-scale investigation. First, I checked the obvious, the trash. Empty. Then I examined the counter for clues. Crumbs, aha, but wait, these crumbs were different. They were smaller, more delicate, almost professional, like the work of a seasoned cookie criminal. My eyes narrowed. This was serious. My colleagues became suspects. Brenda from accounting, always eyeing my snacks. Mark from IT, notorious for his sweet tooth. Even Deborah, the office plant lady, seemed suspicious. She always did have a mischievous glint in her eye. The interrogation began. The room was thick with tension, every eye watching, every breath held. I cornered Brenda at the water cooler, the hum of the office fading into the background. "Brenda," I said, my voice low and serious, "where were you between the hours of 2 and 2:05 p.m? Her eyes widened, a flicker of fear crossing her face. She choked on her water, sputtering denials, her hands shaking slightly. Mark, when confronted, simply pointed to his headphones and mumbled something about coding deadlines. He seemed distracted, almost too calm. Deborah, surprisingly, offered me a homemade oatmeal raisin cookie, her smile too sweet to be genuine. "For your troubles," she winked. Suspicious indeed. Was she trying to bribe me with baked goods? The more I investigated, the more confusing it became. Clues seemed to lead nowhere, and every answer brought more questions. Everyone had an alibi, or so they claimed. Each story was more elaborate than the last. The crumbs remained my only lead, taunting me with their deliciousness. They were the silent witnesses to the crime. I was starting to lose hope. The pieces of the puzzle just wouldn't fit together. Maybe the cookies had just disappeared, vanished into thin air like a magic trick gone wrong. No, that was crazy. Right, or was it? The mystery deepened with every passing moment. Then a breakthrough. While reviewing security footage, don't judge desperate times, I spotted something peculiar. At 2:03 p.m, a shadowy figure darted into the break room. The figure was small, furry and carrying... Were those my cookies? I rewound, zoomed in and gasped. It was Sprinkles, Deborah's prize-winning chihuahua, the audacity, the betrayal. That four-legged fiend had stolen my cookies right from under our noses. But how did Sprinkles even reach the counter? And why did Deborah seem so unconcerned? Unless it was all part of her plan. Suddenly, Deborah's offer of an oatmeal raisin cookie seemed less like a peace offering and more like a gloat. I stormed over to Deborah's desk, my finger pointed accusingly. "It was you and your cookie-loving canine accomplice," I exclaimed. Deborah's eyes widened in mock surprise. "Why, whatever do you mean?" she asked innocently, stroking Sprinkles' head. "Sprinkles would never..." "Oh, please," I scoffed. "The evidence is right there on the security footage. And besides," I added, leaning in conspiratorially, "those oatmeal raisin cookies are clearly a diversion tactic. Admit it, Deborah, you orchestrated this whole thing." Deborah's facade crumbled faster than a stale cookie, revealing the truth behind the mysterious cookie disappearances. She burst into laughter, confessing that she had, in fact, trained Sprinkles, her cunning chihuahua, to snatch cookies right off the table. "He has a weakness for chocolate chips," she explained, wiping a tear from her eye, clearly amused by her own cleverness. "But don't worry," she added with a grin, pulling out a Tupperware container filled with my cookies. She had saved them just for me. Sprinkles only managed to snag a few, she assured me, his little paws not quick enough to get them all. "I saved the rest for you," she said, handing me the plate of cookies with a smile. Justice was served, along with a side of forgiveness and a tall glass of milk, making the moment even sweeter. The great cookie heist had come to an end, but the legend lived on, becoming a tale of laughter and camaraderie. And by legend, I mean the hilarious story I never failed to tell at every office party from then on, always getting a good laugh. The moral of the story? Well, it's quite simple. Never underestimate the power of a sweet tooth, or a cunning chihuahua with a knack for mischief and a love for cookies.